Hey guys, Fierce Spartans here. In today's video, we are going to be doing a review of Call of Duty Black Ops 4, discussing the Blackout and the multiplayer aspects of the game. For this review, we're going to just give zombies a 10 out of 10 because zombies pretty reliable. You already know if you're a zombies player or not, so if you actually hate zombies in Call of Duty, you can give it a 0 out of 10. Just kind of focus on the Blackout and multiplayer aspects of the game. The game launches tomorrow night, so I got to get this video uploaded, so let's get right into it. Going into multiplayer was not having any of it. After seeing the trailer, it was brutal because I just wanted Black Ops 2 remastered, and then they give us Black Ops 3 remastered. Too much futuristic BS in the game for me to enjoy it. The trailer, and that's why I hated the game for the first 5 hours when I played it during the beta. And after that 5 hours, though, I actually really enjoyed it. Now, don't get me wrong, it still wasn't like the most fun game I've ever played. I still don't like specialists being in the game. I still think the movement speed is a little bit too crazy with how high you can jump and the sliding and the grappling hook. I think a lot of it needs to be out of the game. But it's definitely not a bad multiplayer experience. There is a learning curve to multiplayer, so unless you've been playing Black Ops 3 for the last 3 years, you're probably not going to be able to hop in right away and just pub stomp people like I was kind of hoping I would, and how I was kind of expecting I would, because that's usually how it goes with Call of Duty for me. I just hop in and I'm usually able to get two KDs every single game, and that's it. But for Black Ops 4, there's a lot more even matches at the beginning of the game when you start playing it, just because there's a skill gap, and so everyone's still trying to learn the skill gap. And once you do, you'll do really good, and if you don't, you're probably not going to like the multiplayer. I'll be straight up with you on that. I don't think it's incredible. I don't think it's the best multiplayer game. Going into the beta, I was giving it like a 6 out of 10, just because I was like, alright, it's Treyarch, so at least they're bringing back remastered maps, so I'll give it a 6 out of 10. But coming out of the beta, I give it a 7.5 out of 10, which is still not incredible. It's still good. I definitely will probably still play a bunch, maybe even more than Blackout. But for multiplayer, it was solid. As I said, I still don't like specialists. I still don't like all that stuff. It's just a different multiplayer, honestly. I don't know if it's just because I played so much World War II leading into it, but it's pretty similar to Black Ops 3. So if you didn't like Black Ops 3, I don't think you're gonna like Black Ops 4 multiplayer most likely. It's just Black Ops 3 remastered with boots on the ground. That's all the Black Ops 4 multiplayer is. But there is some more skill into this Call of Duty than I feel like other Call of Duties, in my opinion. So that's my thoughts on that. By the way, this is my first solo dub on Blackout, so make sure to leave a like on that. Don't worry, we get more than 2 kills, I promise you. It took me a while to get my first kill, but I think I started this map on Turbine, and then I worked all my way to Nuketown Island. So it took me a while, but we did get a few kills. So moving on to Blackout. This one, I was honestly same as the multiplayer. I was not expecting too much. I was hoping it would be great, but I always knew that Call of Duty has had trouble in ground war lobbies with connection and all that sort of stuff. Oh, and before we go on, this was on a wireless gameplay, and so you see my internet connection hop in and out, like I get the connection interrupted notification, so that's why the quality is not the best. Now don't get me wrong, the quality and graphics on the PS4 is not the best for Blackout anyways, but it's just like really bad for this game because I was playing wirelessly, and do not do that on this game, because it doesn't work in Battle Royale playing wirelessly, especially on Call of Duty. Maybe Fortnite might work just because there's so many people, but on Blackout it doesn't really work as well. So going into Blackout, as I said, didn't have the highest expectations just because of Call of Duty's past experience with connection issues in regular ground war lobbies of 18 people, and even in the headquarters, a lot of issues. So I was like, there's no way they're going to get to 100 players, which they ended up doing at the end of the beta. And the magic number that I wanted was 80. I felt like that would be perfect, and they launched with 80, which I was shocked to hear. And for most of the beta, it was 88, which is pretty awesome. I thought for sure it was going to be like 60 when they launched it, but they shocked me, and every realistic person didn't think it'd be as high as 80. Like I was hoping 80 at launch, and maybe somewhere down the road we can move up to 100, and that seems what it's going to be like. On launch, it's probably going to be 88. Maybe they might even continue with that 100 they had on the end of the beta, but it's great news that Call of Duty Blackout is 80 players because I think that is huge just because the map is pretty big and the downtime in the map during the mid game is really, really slow. Like the first 50, 60 people die instantly, and then the last 20 people are left for like the last 5 minutes of the game. So until the last 5 minutes of the game. And there's a bunch of mechanic issues that they've changed, and armor seems to be getting a big nerf here when the game launches. I still don't know what the extent to that is. And as you can see there, I got that not connection interrupted, but I just kind of glitched back and forth, so not the best here. But as I said, like not going into it, not very excited. But once I played it, I had so much fun. Once I realized how good it was, so going in, as I said, at 6 out of 10 was kind of optimistic. Honestly, I thought it was going to fail. To be honest, I was kind of hoping it would. Not, I wasn't hoping it would, but I was kind of expecting it would fail, and it didn't, in my opinion. And pretty much everyone's opinion with how many people were playing it on Twitch. Like even non-Call of Duty players were playing this game a ton on Twitch, which is kind of crazy. That hasn't really happened since Black Ops 2. Non-Call of Duty players and people who used to be former Call of Duty players like Jericho and stuff, they came back on and played. Ninja even played it for a while. He played it quite a bit. Dr. Disrespect played a ton, I know that much. So a lot of support from just the COD community in general and just the gaming community as well. And it's not going to beat Fortnite. It's going to beat PUBG for sure. I think that if it was a little bit lower cost to enter, it easily would beat PUBG. I don't know how many people are going to want to spend $60 for a game on PC when there's so many competitors on PC. But it seems to be playing pretty well on PC. The PC community seemed to enjoy it a bunch as well, which first time since Call of Duty 4 that Call of Duty can say the PC game was good. So that's pretty crazy to think about as well. So going into it, as I said, 6 out of 10, but going out of it, I'd give it an 8. It definitely still needs some improvements, just like the graphics. It's been a while since I played, so I can't exactly remember. This is a little bit lower quality just because I wasn't recording on my Elgato, and so I had to recapture it through the PlayStation. So that's probably why part of this is not the greatest either. But definitely some issues that can easily be fixed. So it can easily end up being like a 9 out of 10. I don't think it'll ever get to, well, maybe not ever, but at the moment, I don't think, in the near future, I don't think it'll be a 10 out of 10 game. Maybe after a year of the game being out, if they release Blackout as a standalone game for like maybe 20, 40, 30 bucks, I think it'd be really great, and it could end up being a 10 out of 10 if you got another large pool of players to play again. But I know a lot of people on console and PC are just not going to want to spend 60 bucks on a Battle Royale game when there's so many Battle Royale games in the market. That's really my only downside about this game, other than some issues with armor and just picking up items on console and stuff. Two of the biggest issues, and then the big issue of it not being free to play. If it was free to play, I don't know if it'd be Fortnite just because it's not kid friendly and advertiser friendly for just a bunch of people to pour into YouTube ads and all that sort of stuff. That really does help grow the community, by the way. So it doesn't really have that aspect of Fortnite, but I think on Twitch and for any like real gamer who can buy whatever game they want, not have to rely on their parents buying them a M-rated game, I think this game will be pretty successful. And so now we're gonna move on to like more in depth if you should or not buy it. If you like zombies, buy it. I don't really know why I have to discuss that. You already bought it. You already bought the season pass. You got your 4 maps at launch. Great content, a bunch of content. The trailers look insane for zombies. If you're straight up multiplayer, I would definitely recommend trying it at a friend's house or something, because you might not enjoy it if you never got to experience the beta. There is a learning curve, so don't just play like a couple of games and be like, "Oh, this game sucks." Like, nah, you're gonna have to play like for 5, 6 hours and really learn the game, and then you can maybe figure out if you like it or not. And if you are just a battle royale fan, definitely would buy. It's better than PUBG. If you want first-person and shooter experience, or just like a real, I shouldn't say a uh, real shooter experience, but if you want a shooter experience that's not as kid-friendly as Fortnite, really good option here. I like how fast-paced it is. How, as you can see in this game, I'm moving pretty slow in this game, so you still can play tactical, but there are definitely points in the game where you can like really move around. You can grapple hook, and I don't use that in this game, but I think on my next video I used it. I don't know if it's in the video, but I definitely used it. But definitely fast paced if you want to be. It's not recommended for Battle Royale just because you can die. If you die, you don't respawn like in normal multiplayer, but I think it's a great Battle Royale experience is what I'm trying to get to. I should have picked up the grappling hook there, but I ended up playing this pretty damn well. We get the solo victory. I'm going to let this play out. And this is kind of my big gripe on the Blackout, was that the middle of the game took so long to get to like the last 2 people compared to Fortnite and all the other games. The circles need to move a little bit quicker between times. So that's just my thought on that as well. So yeah, I definitely think most of you guys should buy it. If you guys are a Call of Duty fan and you have seen a lot of people enjoying the game, I would recommend you're definitely considering it. As it said, zombies players buy. Multiplayer players try to play it somewhere else. If you enjoyed Black Ops 3 a ton, you should probably buy this game. And if you are just a Battle Royale fan in general, definitely buy the game because you'll probably enjoy it. Unless if you only like Fortnite. If you only like Fortnite, you might actually not like this game. To be honest, just 2 different styles, honestly. So pick your poison. And thanks for watching, guys. I'll let this video finish out. Make sure to like and subscribe. See you guys on the next video.
Sit rep. Circle collapse imminent. Get to safety. Major instability detected. Keep back to safe zone. Exactly how we drilled it. Hotel Sierra.